flashing lights, voices shouting through the night. Static hum that shakes the ground, Rift Nation rising loud, profound. Feel the fire, feel the fight, we're the shadows in the night. Crashing waves, we take the stage, unleash the fury, turn the page. Steel strings, scream the truth we bring, echoed chaos, hearts that sting. Electric veins that feed the roar, harder, faster, crave for more. Dust and sparks ignite the air, shattered silence, do we dare? Tidal force, relentless stream, we're the edge, we're the dream. Feel the fire, feel the fight, we're the shadows in the night. Crashing waves, we take the stage, unleash the fury, turn the page. Rift Nation, hold the line. In the chaos, we align. Through the storm, through the pain, we're the anthem in your veins. Feel the fire, feel the fight, we're the shadows in the night. Crashing waves, we take the stage, unleash the fury, turn the page. Rift Nation, hold the line. In the chaos, we align. Through the storm, through the pain, we're the anthem in your veins.
The engine is still stopped.
For launch, GC, go. Guidance, go. Fido, go. Prop, go. GNC, go. Max, go. Eagle, go. Ecom,
Go pending final steps to cabin link check.
3, 2, 1.
Is there anyone here that would like to communicate with us? Can you give us a sign?
Welcome to the Riff Nation Network, the RNN. Putting a slide in your glide and a dip in your hip. Welcome to the mothership, the home of the travelers of the universe. With shows throughout the week, you can find us at Instagram, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, and more. Everything you could want, everything you can need right here, right now. From the paranormal to the supernatural, from comedy to the spiritual. And now, your featured show. Shall we begin?
It's showtime, folks!
Podcast may contain material that some listeners may find sensitive, offensive, or disturbing. We strive to create respectful and informative content, but topics discussed may include mature themes such as violence, explicit language, or controversial subjects, triggering content including discussions related to mental health, trauma, or other sensitive issues, explicit language. Occasionally, our guests or hosts may use strong language. While we aim to handle these topics with care and empathy, we encourage listeners to exercise discretion. If you find any content distressing, consider skipping or seeking support. Remember that this podcast is not a substitute for professional advice. If you need assistance, please consult a qualified expert.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Rift Nation Network. I'm your host, Joni Skinner, tonight for another exciting episode of True Crime with Forensic Astrology. I'm a forensic astrologer where we combine astrology with true crime, missing cases, cold cases, and as tonight's case, a mystery case. I hope everybody is doing well tonight. We are streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and if you are a podcaster, please join us. We have our shows are also on Spotify. So happy Wednesday. I hope everybody is doing well on this Wednesday evening, another True Crime Wednesday. I'll be quite honest with this one, y'all. And if you have not joined us before, please join in with the chat. We would love to hear from you, hear where you're from, and just drop a hello. This, as you all know, a couple weeks ago, we did a case where the missing Major General from New Mexico went missing. As the weeks progressed, we got up to 8 missing scientists. 8, 9 missing, unalived, different circumstances. We covered that case. We eliminated a couple of them, but they were weird. As time progressed, now we are up to 13. So I thought, well, this would be the third time that we've looked at it. This case, by far, with this beautiful 34-year-old brilliant scientist, Amy. This is the weirdest, y'all, I have ever looked at. And the more I dug into her case, the more I found more information on Miss Amy Eskridge. Now, there's a bit of a controversy out there regarding her unalive. You know, she apparently unalived herself, self-harm. We can't say the word with the S because I guess the algorithm doesn't like it. However, her father did come out and make a statement. He was a NASA engineer and said scientists die too. 34 years old. Okay, we get that. We understand it. But there's too much information and there's too much conflicting other reports coming from people that knew her. So I thought, I'm going to dig into this. Let's see. And I thought it was kind of funny because she was brilliant. She studied gravity, gravitational energy, just energy, stuff that's beyond what my brain can fathom. I can't even, it doesn't even sink into what she was studying. And I thought, well, let's take the oldest science on the face of the earth, which is astrology. And let's see if the oldest science, which I consider astrology is definitely a science, can we glean some information? So, of course, as y'all know, I did what we call in forensic astrology, we use what are called event charts. It's not like a natal chart when you're born or your birth information. It's not like a mundane astrology, which is world events, although it's closely associated with that. But we use what are called timestamps. If it's a missing person case, it's when that person was last seen. Where were they last seen, talked to, text message. We take that information and with the math and the bearings, we compose a map that searchers can use. It's like a Google map, but we use scribble maps. So, and it's done scientifically. It's done mathematically and scientifically. So I thought maybe the oldest science can give us some hints. So this is what I want y'all to do when you look at this case tonight of Amy Eskridge from Huntsville, Alabama. Brilliant scientist, biology, science, physics, all of it. Keep an open mind on all ends of the spectrum. We don't know what was going on in Amy's life. And on one side of the opposite, even this article, check this out. The very last of this article says, however, the intensity of her research reportedly took a psychological and physical toll as she came to believe her work was being monitored by outside entities. Okay, so we're already seeing a mainstream media slant to everything. And I am not a conspiracy theorist. I want to see the facts. I want to see everything. But the person that spoke to her prior to her unaliving, I believed him. He has come out. He was I don't know if he still is. He was a British intelligence officer, an agent. They met online. They became friends. He spoke to her a couple of hours prior to her unaliving. He said nothing was wrong. So what's going on? So let's see. I'm glad now that the FBI is starting to investigate this because it needs to be. We need some answers. I'm sure her parents and her family have answers. And it's completely up to them if they don't want to disclose what occurred. That's totally up to them. They have every right to privacy. But I'm just going to give you all the facts and what I found. So let's check in with the chat and see what y'all are doing. You guys are going to love this show. Hello, Sir Howie Odell. How are you, dear? Hi, how's it going? Tops tip top to you. Mr. Rift Network himself. How are you, my dear? And Miss Denise. Hello, Canada. How are you? I am very curious. Just finishing up outside. How are you, Miss Tammy? How's Texas going? I'd love to see everybody from all over. Howie says, hey, Miss Tammy. Howie says hi to you, Miss Tammy. Oh, what's Lisa got to say? Hi, Joni and all. I've been looking forward to this. I haven't read anything about the missing scientists. Can't wait to learn. Every week, Lisa, we are hearing more and more information come out. But I brought some receipts. I found some receipts online. And I found some stuff that, I think the funny thing about the internet, things might be deleted, but they show up. Nothing is ever deleted from the internet. So people have to learn that. So I pulled up some old text messages from her that blew me away. So we're going to keep up with this. Now, there was another scientist, another young man that was suspiciously died in his Tesla. And that's another suspicious one. I'm going to look at him next week. He was another young man. Now, his family is coming out saying there's something wrong here. He would never have done anything to himself. So, we're getting a lot of weird info, folks. Miss Tammy says, hi, Howie. Sorry, just walking to the duck pen with duck food. I love ducks. Where's Miss Lisa? I hope everybody's doing all okay. I know a couple of people are not feeling well tonight, under the weather. It's getting vacay time. Hello, Miss Lois. How are you, my dear? I hope y'all are doing well. I hope everybody's doing great on this Wednesday. It's great Wednesday evening. Let's get into this because I think y'all are going to really, really like this story. Put either your tinfoil hats on, your intuitive ears on, and just kind of think about, it's just really, I've been looking at this for a week. And so it's kind of been a little weird, and it continues to get weirder. It's one of those cases. So here are the headlines that are starting to come out now. And this is a picture of Amy, another UFO secrets. Linked scientist found DEAD. My life is in danger. She did not have UFO secrets. She was anti-gravitational. She did work with chemistry, biology, and physics to explore exotic concepts beyond conventional rocketry. She apparently was close to finding anti-gravity so that we wouldn't have to use fossil fuels at 34. So and she grew up in Huntsville, Alabama, as y'all know, the rocket capital of the world. Her daddy was a NASA engineer. She actually went into business with her dad. They had a business with the anti-gravity stuff. Here she is. And here is her friend, the picture of her British friend. There are some really good interviews on YouTube. If you'd like to hear what else he has to say, I kind of summed up a lot of what he said. He's very intelligent. And here's a picture of Amy. Okay. And let me get his name. It's Frank. This is Frank. And like I said, they met online. They became friends because he was very interested in what she did. They just became very friendly. I'm going to make this bigger for us to see. Okay, another headline. The chilling text that was sent before she was found unalived. Now, what's funny about this, another picture of beautiful Amy. What's funny about this, y'all, is there's no investigative reports. There's no information regarding her unaliving. Nothing. Now, Nancy Grace, the other night on one of Nancy's shows, said that she had a lot of questions according to the autopsy report. Now, I don't know where Nancy would have gotten a copy of the autopsy report, but it's Nancy Grace. She could probably get a hold of whatever she wanted to. but she said she had several questions regarding the autopsy. Now, we have to remember, this is a girl, I'm going to call her girl because she was at 34, that continuously, up until the time of her unaliving, repeatedly, I am not going to do this. I am not there. I'm fine. She continually said that. So let's get into this, and I'll show you what led up to. Now, her father has strongly pushed back against the claims. Again, marvelously intelligent person who suffered from chronic pain. Her father dismissed speculation. Scientists die also, just like other people. At 34, Pop, but, I know. Now, here is a text message that she sent to her friend, our British intelligence officer. As you can tell, her hands look sunburned. She was working on her computer, and you can read the text. It says, looks like red gloves. I am so peed off. Oh my God, I would be peed off too. Somebody should be protecting you. Getting hit repeatedly with military-grade sci-fi weapons is getting tiresome after a while. As you can see, she was hit with an emergency weapon. And they basically call it like being microwaved. Now, we know that these weapons exist. Okay, we know they exist. So as you can see, her hands, where she said she was on her computer, and she was repeatedly getting hacked into her work. Her work was repeatedly getting hacked. And what bothered Amy the most, and here's a couple of the text messages that you can kind of look here, get it bigger. You can kind of see where her biggest fear was, who is doing this? I think I might know why this is happening right now. So she figured out why it was happening right now. She was continually getting harassed. She was continuously getting break-ins. Her work was getting hacked. Now, what Amy did, and what Amy explained in some videos, is that they work on prototypes, whatever. They got tired of things working, and NASA just chucking them and using them for scrap metal. So they had things that were breakthrough inventions and technology, and NASA would just chuck it, right? So she, as a young girl, young woman, and strong-willed, said, I'm tired of this. So she started a company called the Institute of Exotic Sciences, where a bunch of the scientists from Huntsville in different areas were going to open this up for commercial use. They were going to take their work and release the reports, release their findings, and she had already gotten a $500,000 grant, right? So her work was theoretical, focusing on gravity modification and high frequency gravitational waves to transform propulsion and move beyond fuel-based systems. Well, you can imagine who would want that to stop. We've got oil companies. We've got different governments. I mean, think about that. Think about what her work could have possibly, the breakthroughs, correct? So she couldn't figure out who was doing this to her. Was it the government? Was it foreign governments? Was it? So she more or less leaned to private contractors, which I get that too. But you're going to see in this other text message that just floored me. And you know why it floored me? Because it showed up in the chart And for like 4 days, I couldn't figure out in the chart, who would this person be? I've not heard of this person yet until I saw this text message out of the blue today. And there are text messages and text messages that you can go through. So what had happened is, long story short, she went to the dentist, right? And the dentist said to her, hey, congrats on your job. That's wonderful, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, what are you talking about? And he said, well, your job when you moved to Israel, you know? And she's like, I'm not moving to Israel. Well, her dental records were sent to Israel because the dentist thought that she had gotten a job, like the request had said, and they needed her dental records, which wasn't true. Now, what she said, what had happened is she would get the threatening calls like, this will all stop if you unalive yourself. And she would get other calls in Texas saying, I'm outside, go past your pool and near your barn. I'm in the barn. Come and find me. She would go home and things would be moved. She was completely being harassed. And she said it almost made you feel like they wanted to make you feel like you're crazy, which is, you know, the old MK Ultra, you know, who knows, right? So the dental record things started to spook her. Okay. She then met a gentleman for the first time in her life, and he intel bombed the F out of her. Okay. So he went through her father's entire NASA resume to her face, including her dad's unpublished work resume over several decades. He basically, just to get her attention, he gave her a 6-month ultimatum that she had better publish her stuff within that time frame or they would engage in plan B. Okay, so it was basically a threat. He described things about her health that she knew then, and he was an Israeli gentleman. Right? Now remember that when we look at the charts. What floored me is when she background checked him. Now remember, she had access because she worked for Huntsville at the Space Center. She had high clearance. Right? So she was afraid if she went to them and said, I'm being stalked, I'm being harassed, I'm being this, they would think she was losing it and they would cut off her high clearance. And I mean, she was in a top level, high security level job. So this particular gentleman, the Israeli gentleman, she found out through a background check that he had multiple vice president positions at multiple shell companies owned by none other than George Soros. And all of those companies shared the same address as the office for the Soros Fund Management Office in New York, even down to the suite number. The Soros guy did in fact know things from her radiology records that had never been mentioned to her. Just like my dental x-rays have apparently been pretty recently requested by some company, as my employer is now in Israel. So as you can tell, Amy is getting now. Did this really happen? Well, apparently it looks like it happened to me. I don't know how someone could have those sunburn and microwaved hands like she did. This is the last message that she sent to her friend, who was the British intelligence officer, her friend Frank. By the way, if you see any report that I unalived myself, I most definitely did not. If you see any report that I overdosed, I most definitely did not. And as you can tell, she goes through this whole thing. The dominoes are being lined up all over again now. This doesn't, we can use our own judgment as to what we think, but she has left a lot of paper trails that investigators can go and find out what went on, what was happening. Now, again, look at her hands. That was from the energy weapon. You can see where it looks, it's right where her hands were on the computer. Now, so I took, wait a minute, that's the date of her unaliving. We are going to look at, okay, this is the date of the text message. Do you remember her text message that she did not unalive herself? So let's take a look at that, see what the astrology tells us, right? So we know Amy is the ascendant, correct? We know Amy is the ascendant. Ooh, I got the wrong one. My bad. Oh, no, this is the text. God, I got so many charts here. I know this is just kind of freaks me out too. So we know that this is the text message, correct? So we look at that. Amy is Taurus. Who's the ruling planet of Taurus? Venus. Up in the 11th house. Someone she knows. This is somebody that she has met in social circles or she knows. We also want to look to the moon because the moon, remember, the moon is the co-ruler. Well, look at that. She's at work. 6th house. She is at work when this is going on. I would love to know if that particular text message was actually done at work, right? So what is the moon? Let me look at my notes. What does the moon in the 6th house mean? There's a lot of mental health flags going on. So we've got mental health flags going on right now. Work. Well, yeah, we know that. Hidden threats in her daily life. Daily pattern and daily work life is being disrupted. In her 1st house, the ruler of the 1st house, we've got institutional involvement. Victim is making sudden decisions. Unpredictable events are happening. Unexpected events. The victim will be known by a lot of people. Okay, that's what the chart is telling us. Let's look at the perp. If there is a perp, okay, because we're iffy on this. We don't know if there's a perp. Remember, 7th house. So that's Scorpio. So that the rulers of Scorpio are Mars and Pluto, the 11th and the 9th house rulers. Okay, here we go. The perp may be foreign. Dark teachings. International. The person has righteous actions, is doing things because they think they are righteous actions. Foreign dealings. 10th house. Law enforcement knows more. Saturn, a crime was committed in broad daylight, up in the 10th house. The 11th house. Deception, a lot of deception online. Somebody is posing as a helper. They appear in public. Someone close. Doesn't seem like an obvious threat, but they are being deceptive. Someone she knows. There's also a female involved as well. So this chart, this particular chart, that was the text message, right? Gives us a lot of information. Gives us a lot of information. Now, Venus up in the 12th house, right, may play a role in her disorientation. Alcohol and drugs may play a role in disorientation. So we're going to keep that in mind as well. Well, gosh, I'd be drinking too if all this was going on. Jeez. I'd be like taking Xanax and all. I'd be going nuts. Okay, so here we go. Let's go back. Now, this is the date that she allegedly unalived herself, right? Now, we don't have a time. We really don't even know if this is the day because there's absolutely zero information for me to look up. I do know from Nancy Grace said that her body was cremated. I think it was Nancy. Her body was cremated the following day. It happened on a Saturday, and she was cremated on Sunday. Pretty unusual. Maybe not. Maybe not. So let's take a look at this chart. We've got the sun coming in again. Older man, right? It also denotes Amy because Leo is the ascendant. The ruler of Leo is the sun up in the 11th house. Older man that she knew. Older man that she knew. And she said, she made a comment about the Israeli man was twice her age. And I about fell out of my chair when I read that. Now, the unaliving. The moon is the co-ruler. Look at that. Amy is at home. So it did occur at home. It did occur at home, right? So let's see what the book, let's go through the notes in the chart. So we've got moon at the home. She's in the home. Okay, the 6th house would denote her work. Her work. Danger in everyday, her everyday routine. So we are seeing so much danger with her work, right? We saw it in May. Now we see it again in June. Pluto is in there. Secrets. Very dark secrets. Under surveillance at work. Danger with every day. Now, if there is a perp, we don't know if there's a perp. Saturn. It's an older father figure type gentleman. Cold and calculating, right? Rules the 10th house. That could be career. Someone in her, around her career. There's a lot of suspicion of people that her career brought her into focus with. Lots and lots. And a packed 9th house is foreign. But I'm not saying it's foreign people. It could be a contractor, a foreign contractor. She felt it was a contractor doing this. Look at this, the 8th house. We've got Neptune in there. Mysterious cause of death. Mysterious cause of death. Could also be mental illness. It can also be videos, that there are videos available. There's probably more YouTubes and videos that she did a lot of videos. She did a lot of presentations as well. Brilliant. So the 10th house, we've got Uranus, which is evidence will come to light. Shocking evidence is going to come to light via messages. So we do have Mercury up in the 10th house. There were messages at the home. There was a lot of digital information at the home. And if you notice, Uranus is up. It's opposing the moon, which is Amy. I mean, these charts have really told us a lot. I will say this. You know, we've looked at enough of these charts before. The unaliving charts, it's usually Pluto in the 12th house or Uranus in the 8th house. Now, I'm not saying that she did not or did not commit unaliving, but as far as the chart is concerned, there are no markers in the chart that would lead us to see an unaliving by her hands. I'm not saying that it didn't happen because we don't have a good time. And I'll tell you, we don't have a good time. And we've got Pluto almost heading, well, a couple hours, it would be up in the 8th house. But I don't know. So we've got that. Let's take a look at what else is in the chart. I mean, the chart to me kind of blew me away because it was very telling. The sun, again, is Amy, social circles, people that she knew. So within the community. That kind of gives us a lot of information from the chart without having good timestamps. The only good timestamps we have are on the text messages. And I'm trying to think what else. Her friend Frank came out and said, her friend Frank has basically come out and said she did not do this. I talked to her daily. She was fine. She did not do this. And you can see by a lot of her text messages, I mean, it's worth them really investigating this. This just blew me away. Lisa says, I wonder what her dad is like. Very intelligent scientist also. Her family had her cremated so quickly. Maybe they could be scared of something. Could be. You know, and maybe it was for religious reasons too. We don't know. I think the more that scientists continue to disappear, the more people are going to start digging things up, like in Amy's case, because this case was just very quietly shut down. I don't remember when this happened, but you know, it was in the middle of COVID. It was in the middle of lockdown. You know, that was a crazy time that we were all in. What are your all? I'm anxious to hear what your all's thoughts are. What do you all think? Oh, this is the same chart. Okay. Now remember too, Uranus denotes technology and space. Uranus is sitting right in that 12th house, right there at the edge of that 12th house. And of course, in the 12th house, it's things that are hidden. Things that are hidden. If there was a perp, this was a foreign person, foreign entities, could be foreign contractors. Who knows? I think it's kind of funny that the name Soros came up, don't you all? I think that's pretty funny. I thought, what? So, you know, maybe this was just somebody wanted her information. We know that. Was it good or the bad? You know, we know there's a lot of dark energies out there that would, if this is billions of dollars, if she had, you know, found a lot of these breakthroughs in technology. And she even made the statement that we could go to Jupiter if we so elected to, because the technology is there. She said it very matter-of-factly. The technology is there. And she also said that a lot of the ships that we are seeing now that they claim are UFOs, that those are man-made. The technology is very simple and it is man-made. Now now here's Tammy. Just so absolutely. She did not think so. Government did it, no doubt. She did not think so. But you know what, Tammy? If you think about it, there are so many bureaucrats and there could be so many bad actors within a department or within an agency that people don't even know about. You know, so it could be the people at the top or the intel agencies don't know what the people at the bureaucracies are doing. And it very well could be very, very well. How many of those people do you think might be compromised that are getting paid millions of dollars just to give this information out to people like this guy that approached her that knew all about her dental records and, getting her dental records sent to Israel? They were just messing with her. Who would even make that up? Who would even know to make that up? It really makes you think. All I can say is I don't see any markers in there for an unaliving. That's without a doubt. Could be wrong because of the timestamps. But we're getting a lot of foreign people were involved, which that could be, who knows? Maybe the Israeli guy knows some information. Why hasn't he been tracked down and questioned? Maybe he has. We don't know. But they're just starting to open up these cases. And I hope they get more information on her, because she was adamant that she was not going to unalive herself. So does anybody else have any other thoughts? I know it's crazy, isn't it? It was crazy. And the more I looked and the more I dug, the more I found out. And the more I kept finding out. She was absolutely brilliant. She went up against the grain, though, y'all. She was like, I'm going to make this open to businesses. So she was going to take her technology and blow it wide open. So I think that had a lot to do with it, too. They want the tech info, take it. Tell them it is dumped, then have others continue it privately, not for public. Yeah. A friend of mine, they had some things that they were working on for DNA with missing persons. And it was, it was technology with DNA to help find missing persons. They were very, very quiet about it with the patent, because the government can come in. And it's been done before. So you have to be very, very careful with things that you're inventing and technology, because there are bad people out there. There's a lot of bad apples. It's very risky. It's creepy, isn't it? What they were doing to this young woman. It really makes you think. Now, I wanted to go ahead and put this in here for y'all, because I don't know if my Canadian friends, you guys are probably not hearing about this, Denise. But, the great Dr. Fauci, last week, his right-hand man for 15 years was indicted for a lot of things. He was indicted for trying to basically hide the origin of the this thing that made us all go into lockdown. He was indicted for oh, you guys there? Well, that was weird. Whoops. Well, that was kind of weird, wasn't it? Uh-oh. Now I'm being paranoid. Whoops. So I did his chart because of the indictment. And what I saw basically in his chart is, look at that pink line in his house of daily or work. Pluto is going to be opposing his natal Pluto. Transit Pluto is lined up. Pluto brings everything out in the open. Pluto brings everything up out of the swamp. Another thing to look for on his chart is that the lunar nodes, which we all know about the lunar nodes. The lunar north node is your soul contract, your destiny. The south node is past lives, lessons that you have to evolve out of and let go and learn. He's got a lot of north node and destiny stuff hitting his house. North node is the south node is going to hit his 12th house, and that is secrets, what is hidden. It's going to line up with Pluto, the south node. It indicates loss. The north node is going to line up in his house of, and that's also medical field. That's also where scientists would be. Medical field, 6th house. Lunar nodes are going to come and get him. So we're going to keep an eye on this. Uranus has moved into his house of career. Shocking and surprising news. Saturn is in his 8th house, which is other people's money, transformation. That's also the house of secrets. His north node, surprisingly enough, his natal north node is in the 2nd house, which is money. Money. So that chart is going to be very interesting to watch Pluto trek through the 6th and the 12th house. That's happening now. We're not going to see the lunar node shift until about July. So, the statute of limitations to indict him, if he indeed did anything, is May the 11th. So that's in 5 days. He's got that pardon, though. So we'll see. I think it's interesting to look at the charts as, his 15-year right-hand man who took care of the grants, etc., and the emails that came out of that indictment were just shocking to me. They were shocking to me about when they got a grant and his right-hand man said something to the effect of, when does he get his cut, or how big is his cut? They were shocking. So they knew a lot. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Do y'all have any thoughts on anything from tonight's show? I think it's interesting what's going on with the scientists. What do you all think? I like that, Denise. They want the tech info. Take it. Tell them it's dumped. Then, or give them the wrong stuff. Why wouldn't you write up something that's bogus, that doesn't work, and give it to them? They wanted her, but you have to do everything, from what I can gather, in papers, and you have to publish your findings. I would publish the wrong thing. I would give them bogus stuff that doesn't work. I would mess with them. Watch what you say. Oh, I know, that was weird. It's very weird. I'll tell you. Gotta be careful what I say, right, Denise? It's gonna be weird. If I start getting weird texts, I'm gonna stop doing the charts on these missing people, missing scientists. But everybody, it's out there. It's a lot of YouTubers are picking it up now too. So we'll keep an eye on this one and see how it looks. But I'll tell you what, the weirdness just keeps coming, y'all. So does anybody else have any other thoughts about this? Lisa, what do you think? What do you think now that you have not been following this? And Tammy, what do y'all think? Lois, what do you guys think? Any thoughts on any of this? We know it, Denise. Keith, what do you guys, any thoughts? Oh, Denise thinks the numbers will rise. Oh, they are too. They are. We're up to like 13 or 14 now. And remember when we first looked at this, I think it was what, Denise, 8 or 9? Looks like we got a pattern, doesn't it? It's a little sketch. Now, I heard rumor as probably just social media rumor, because you know how that goes. You know, when all this stuff starts going out there, all the social media rumors get really weird. Somebody said that the general that was missing, he was like up to no good. But how would anybody know that? He was retired. So I think there's a lot of rumors out there that we got to be, the older guy thing make me think her dad knows something. Dad could show up in the 10th house. Mom is usually the 4th house. It could be. And you know what? She and her father did have a company together. So it could have been something that they were working on as well. He possibly knows something. Is that company still up and operating? Did Dad continue the work? So that's interesting. I know it's like a novel. The foreign guy's older too, but is he real? I think he is. I better be quiet. I got a big mouth. I don't care. I keep talking. I think why would she make that up? I believe that. I believe they do things like what she's saying. You know, her friend who was a British intelligence agent said they absolutely do it. They absolutely do it. So it's crazy. It's crazy, crazy. We'll keep on this, y'all. We will keep on this and keep looking. And the other scientist from Huntsville that's down there, his is very suspicious as well. He passed in his Tesla. Car caught on fire. And he was not recognizable. So we need to look at his too. They both worked in Huntsville. So it's kind of weird, y'all. Here comes the tinfoil hats. We better be quiet now. Oh, we're just making this whole thing up. It's crazy. It feels like 2020 all over again. Well, y'all, I hope that makes you all think a little bit. It kind of flipped me out a little bit too. I was kind of looking at my windows too. I was looking at my windows and stuff thinking, oh, geez. Great work. There will be more. I think so too, ma'am. I think so too. We'll keep our eyes on this one. We will keep our eyes on these cases, y'all. But for now, we got a good little week ahead of us. The energy has calmed down a lot. And I hope everybody that's not feeling well, keep them in our prayers. I hope everybody's doing well. And for people on vacations, please have a wonderful time. It's that vacation time of year. Have a great time. Enjoy everything. Enjoy yourself. I'm jealous. I want to go to the beach. So have a great week, y'all. And if you guys see anything on these cases, please send me please DM me. Send me any information if you can find it. We can dig and start digging some more stuff up because it's out there. So y'all thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to share and hit that like button for me, please. And have a great week. And I will be on Keith's show Monday night at 8:00, Astrology. So don't forget to tune in and join us. And don't forget, I think that's about it. So have a great weekend. Thanks a million. And like I said, if you find anything on these cases, let me know. We'll keep on this. So thanks a million, y'all. Have a good night. Good night.